What up, everybody? Welcome back. Sorry I missed yesterday. Let me explain what happened. Actually, I'll explain what happened after the music. If it's your first time here, this is Fishy Hour, the show where we hang out during the week, Monday through Friday, and talk about fishing. It's mostly local San Diego fishing, but we're open to hearing about your fishing areas all over the world, wherever you're watching this stream. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. We try to keep it positive, and some days we do call-ins. We might do call-ins today, but for the most part today we're going to answer some questions, and we have a special guest to field our spotty fishing questions here in San Diego Bay, Mission Bay. Brian, he's a previous guest of the show. He's been an awesome contributor to the channel, contributor to the show, and always shows up with a positive attitude and a ton of knowledge and willingness to help new anglers out. So we're going to bring Brian in a little bit later. First, I need to do some announcements, and then we'll jump right into that, guys. So have your questions ready. It's gonna be fun. He's gonna share some cool stuff that he prepared for us. So I'm super excited to see what he has. Okay, so real quick, actually, Brian, Brian is watching me from the background. So if you have a drink, go grab a drink if you don't have one yet to crack open.
Oh, I got it.
Perfect. Okay, cool, perfect. All right, so here we go, guys. Basically, yesterday, the intention was to stream from the kayak. But because the Fishy Hour account is new on YouTube, it's basically, I think, 60 subscribers at this point. And so the way they set it up is they don't want somebody just kind of opening an account and live streaming from their phone, doing random stuff and having nothing at stake. It takes a while to build up to 1,000 subscribers. And they figure if somebody's going to take the time to build their account up to 1,000 subscribers, they're not going to be live streaming some weirdness. So that's where there's a gate on that. So unfortunately, I didn't know there was a gate yesterday until I started to set up for the actual stream. I was already on the water out in front of Mission Bay. And when I tried to hit the stream button, it didn't let me stream. It says you can't stream from an app. It's not enabled for you yet. So I kind of had to improvise, and I jumped on the MMFC Facebook group and streamed from there. So two things we got to cover. First thing is, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please subscribe. The sooner we can get to 1,000 subscribers, I know it sounds like a long way, but the sooner we can get to 1,000 subscribers, the sooner we could just do everything here on this channel and not have to worry about live streaming the fishing sessions on a different system. Okay. That said, I am going to start experimenting with a different system for live streaming the on the water stuff, and that might be I'll release information on that once I figure out 100% what's going to work. But until we get 1,000 subscribers on this channel, we won't be able to live stream from the kayak. Okay, so do me a favor, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Other thing is, let's see, on Saturday we're fishing Saturday San Diego Bay. If you're interested, go check out the Facebook group. Another benefit of being on the Facebook group, you get to maintain the information that's going on with the channel, and also since I ended up doing a backup live stream to that yesterday, you also would have been able to see that too. So if you want to go to that, it's actually mad-max.com, just like on this sticker. And that'll take you to our Facebook group. So Mad Max Fishing Club. Okay. So mad-max.com. Make sure you include the dash. If you don't include the dash, it's going to show you some weird dude who dresses up as Mad Max. All right. With that said, we're going to bring Brian into the conversation. And we're going to get started. Okay, guys? All right, Brian, you ready? All right, here we go. Oop. I always do this. Let me do the full screen. There you go. And then split screen. Yes, there you are. What's up? Welcome.
Welcome. Hey, thanks for having me again, Roman.
Yeah, this is fun. I'm ready for this. So let's just
awesome to be here.
So guys, do you want to tell us a little bit about what we're going to do today? Brian, let me while you do that, I'll adjust the screen so you're not cut off in the face.
Oh, cool. I see myself in the background.
There you go. Cool. Okay, you're back. You're good. Yeah, if you see
cool.
What you're seeing in the background is just my view. On what they're seeing is a split screen. So me and you half and half. Cool.
Okay, awesome. So hey guys, what's up?
So
hopefully tonight I can share some good information, and we can do this on some Wednesdays and take something out of this tonight.
I like it. I like it. It's pretty cool. So guys, the kind of like the principle behind this is, sometimes I might want to take some time off or need to do some other stuff where I can't be always available to do the show. But Brian generously volunteered his time and to learn how to do this so he could sub in for me when I need it. And it might even evolve into him hosting Wednesdays. So we'll see how that goes. It's like all trial basis and seeing how Brian likes it, how he feels about it, and then it's a little bit of a growing thing for him too. So go easy on him.
Thank you.
but yeah, we're all friends here. We all know each other, so it's all fun. It's all fun, and I'm sure anybody in the chat is going to be excited to hear what you have to say about spotty fishing. I mean, it's like it's your bread and butter, so I'm all ears.
Right. Yes, I'm excited to share some information. Hopefully, you guys learned something from it.
Perfect. Cool. So how do you want to start?
I don't know. How do you want to start? I was thinking of I've been thinking about MMFC.
Yep.
And I think almost everybody in the MMFC is on right now.
Yeah.
And something that MFC, I don't know if it's lacking, but I think would be pretty cool. You know, all the cool guys out there have a catchphrase.
Oh.
Like The Rock, he's got, you smell what The Rock is cooking. Stone Cold's got, and that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. And Macho Man says, oh, yeah. And, Ron Burgundy says, stay classy, San Diego. I thought it would be a good idea maybe if the MFFC, we had some type of maybe catchphrase. And I was seeing in the chat if anybody might have an idea while we're talking here of a good catchphrase for the MMFC.
Let's like for when we see each other in person, or like for when we start the show.
I don't know.
That's
I don't know. It just seems like a catchphrase might be kind of cool. It seems like all companies and all cool dudes have a catchphrase. I've always wanted to have a catchphrase.
What should be our
I'm not a cool dude. So.
Yeah, I'm not a cool dude either. So I was like, the closest thing I can think of to a catchphrase or like to a continuous thing. But no, that's a good point. Let's share some funny catchphrases, guys. If you guys want to mix it up in the chat, it'd be kind of something fun to kind of just go over.
Or maybe throw out your favorite celebrity or wrestler or whatever catchphrase.
I like Ric Flair. Woo! But I'm already using that. I'm already using that one in my regular video. So I avoided using that one for the fishy hour, but I haven't come up with one yet. Jet,
I don't know. Maybe.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
Jet's already jumping in some questions, which is great. Do you want to start fielding questions? Might as well.
Well, I want to just for the catchphrase. I want to throw something out because I was brainstorming this, and I came up with one, and it may be good, it may be bad. I'll let you guys judge that. But if you say it really fast 3 times, it could come out really bad. So you kind of have to be careful when saying this. But okay, so it's MMFC. We're snagging grass and catching bass. But I don't know. It seems like that's what we're doing.
That's
but
funny.
If you say it really fast, it could come out funky.
Yeah, right? So that's hilarious.
MOC, snagging grass and catching bass. What do you guys think?
That's what they say. Fish hour ringtone, fresh one. Oh, fresh one? Nice. So Wayne says fresh one. Aiden's catchphrase is dem good eating. Dem, like DEM instead of them. That's funny.
Oh, yeah.
The ringtone.
Hey, the word I hear most out on the water is not from just me, but everybody is dang.
I hear nice.
That one word.
I hear nice. I think it's because I'm fixated.
Yeah,
I'm fixated on it. So I hear like Cal says
You're
it.
Nice.
I hear Cal say it. I hear.
I say dang. I'm like dang. I hear that constantly on Discord.
I hear Leonard say it. Nice.
Yeah.
That's funny. But, so I forgot. I need to pop this top. All right, guys, let's do this. Oh, you have your pop top?
Well, I have a bottle.
Oh, there we go. It'll work. See, yeah, Leonard says nice on a shirt. Nice. All right, ready?
Nice.
Here we go, guys. Right. Here's mine. I'm gonna adjust the mic angle so you guys get a optimum sound. Here we go.
Wait, I didn't get to hear the theme music.
Oh yeah, we played it.
Oh,
we played
okay,
it while I was introducing you. Sometimes you don't get to hear it. Sorry. Here we go. What?
Ooh, that was a slow roller.
It was weird. It was like no fizz in there.
Sure, you want to drink that one?
It's flat. It's flat. It's flat. I'm gonna get a fresh one. I'm gonna get a fresh one. You're on, Brian. You get to entertain these guys for 2 minutes. Ready?
Last time I was on, I choked, so I'm gonna try to redeem myself here. Nothing. I think I'm flat too. We're both coming out flat. Anyway, it's Mexico water again for me, guys. So worked last time. So Topo Chico, cheers, eh? Oh, that's definitely not flat. Holy smokes. What part of Mexico are they bottling this at? That's what I want to know.
All right, I'm back. Let's see. We go back here.
Round
cool.
2.
All right, here we go.
The first time or a
here's a flat one. It was cold, but I don't know. Just I'm not sure if I would have heard something. Right, here we go. Here we go. Oh, what did Brian get? Let me see his numbers.
Yeah.
Let's see.
0. That's what I deserve. Thanks, Wayne.
Oh, yeah. Rodney killed it with this. I think he got his so close to his mic. That's why it sounded awesome.
Wait, remember, guys, I'm sporting like a $20 microphone here. I don't quite have the system Roman has.
Here we go. Oh man, that was
gorgeous.
Woo!
That was awesome.
There we go. Now I know where I've been making a mistake. This mic is it only catches what's directly in front of it. So I've been opening my soda like this, and so it's out of the range, out of the scope. What do you guys think? Well, how was that? Let's see.
Hey, that's called time on the mic.
Woo! That's good. Oh, I got a 9 from Wayne. Yes, Aiden got a 9. I got a 9 from Aiden. All right.
Being a guest and I got a 0, I think. Does that mean I'm the lowest score of all time?
Oh no.
Oh man.
Kevin didn't get. I have to go watch Kevin's second appearance. I think his first appearance, he had a glass of like hard alcohol. So like it was no pop top. So did not finish.
He probably still got
not
open.
1. 1 and a first 9 on the record for an average of. That's funny. That's so funny.
I don't think this is going very good for me, Roman.
No, it's all good.
I've already choked on the. I've already choked on the first.
It's all about the beverage selection.
Yeah. No more Mexico water.
Yeah, room for improvement. That's fine. All right, guys. So we're basically going to talk about spotty fishing, guys. Like our bread and butter, kayak spotty fishing. It's okay to talk from shore. It's okay to float tube. It's okay to do whatever. However you got to catch them. However you got to catch these spotties. Let's hear some questions. Some story. Mostly questions. Give us some questions. Mostly give Brian questions. You guys, I'm sure you guys are curious about how he fishes, and then we'll roll into his presentation. Or if you want to do the presentation first, it's up to you.
I'm gonna go right into the presentation here, guys.
Okay, that sounds good.
And this might open up with some questions. So tonight I'm not really doing like a full interview. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not telling. I already know my background. So, but just for people that may not see my interview, I'm Brian. I'm at Brian Likes to Fish on Instagram. And if you go out on the bays, there's a good chance if you go out there on the weekends, you're going to see a big white boat with a Cool Bait sticker on the side, and that's me. I don't own Cool Baits, but I'm a pro staff Cool Bait, so I'm always out there fishing. So that's who I am. If you're wondering,
show us that Cool Baits.
I'm that guy on the Cool Bait boat.
Show us the Cool Baits logo behind you. That way we can recognize the logo. There it is. So that's a Cool Baits logo that's on the side of his boat.
Yes. So I'm out there every weekend. I've been fishing spotties for over 15 years now. Nice. And I've kind of came up with some techniques, and I go out with MMFC whenever I can. I try to get out there every time with you guys. You guys are awesome to fish with. And something I've noticed, so today I want to talk about Mission Bay directly. Something I noticed lately about especially summer fishing at Mission Bay, it can be exciting. So if you get out there anytime past like 10 in the morning, and if you launch your kayak and you head on out and you look around, it's chaos right now, guys. I don't know how many guys go out there on Saturday or Sunday, but Mexico water. So I don't know how many guys go out there on Saturday and Sunday, but it's like a jet ski freeway out there lately. Yeah. So let's just set the scenario. You get out there, it's Saturday, it's 10 a.m. You get on the water. There's jet skis everywhere. There's pleasure boats everywhere. There's a ton of fishermen everywhere. And you go to your very first spot. Okay, which normally, if you're launching out of Dana, I don't know, everybody gravitates towards the structure or the bridge or the rocks or something. And say that bridge has 15 people fishing on it. So that's when you got to come up with your plan B. And plan B is usually, I'm just going to cruise out and see if I can find fish. Well, sometimes I have a plan that I've been doing when my favorite spots are taken. This is like my plan B. And what I do to avoid the crowds and to find a new fishing spot is I actually have a certain area. And you know what? I'm just going to pull this up really quick, guys.
Perfect. Yeah, we got the full-on
Give me 1 second.
interactive show. I love it.
Yeah, I'm motivated by Captain Dan and his show. So I'm going to go ahead and...
I have the screen on me. When you're ready, let me know and I'll switch it over.
Okay, switch it on over.
All right, here we go. Full screen. Look at that. It's like production and all this good stuff. Yeah. See you guys?
Okay, so hopefully all you guys are seeing this map right here.
Yep.
And let me zoom way out so I can show you what we're looking at. This right here is Mission Bay. So if you're not familiar with Mission Bay, it's in San Diego. I like to call it Mission Lake because it's almost like a giant lake.
That's a good way to put it.
Most of this is a 5 mile per hour zone, and there's one section kind of right here, this big open body that's not 5 mile per hour zone. And really the only time we fish that is in the winter when nobody's out there or first thing in the morning. Because if you try to go out there in your kayak or boat and fish out there, there's a million boats doing a circle around that white island right here, all going about 60 miles an hour. So it's a rough time out there. So I recommend staying away from this area, definitely summertime, only early in the morning. But what I wanted to show you guys is most of us, is that coming through clear, Roman?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, perfect. So most of us are launching out of this area, which is Dana Landing. And first thing we do is we usually go right over to this bridge. I know I see Jet and Corey and Cody and a lot of these guys fishing this area a lot. And that's a popular spot. But in the summertime, this spot is getting hammered. There's rental skiffs, there's kayaks, there's fishermen, there's pleasure boaters. So this is like a super hard area to fish. I know we all want to fish bridges and we all want to fish our favorite areas, but we can't. So something I wanted to show you guys, if we zoom right in close to the shore, I don't know if you guys use Google Maps, but I use this all the time to find fishing spots, not just in Mission Bay, but if I'm going to a lake or I'm going somewhere else, you can actually zoom in the water and it gives you that awesome aerial view that it almost to me is as good as a fish finder. So if you're looking at this rocky slope right here, the riprap, you see how it comes kind of straight down into the water, and then like right here is the rock kind of ends and it goes to sand and grass.
Yeah.
If you follow the whole shoreline, it sticks like that almost all the way around this bay. So the whole shoreline has that awesome rocky shoreline. And if you're not fishing in that, I'm just pulling this up for now. And you see like this other side, you can pull it up and guess what? There's a little bit of sand right here. So you can visually see there's sand here, probably grass. This can't be super accurate on the grass because that stuff comes and goes in certain patches, but it just shows you kind of the fishing areas. And what I wanted to talk about, and I know last weekend I was fishing with a Jet and Cody out there, and they saw what I was doing, is fishing, let's say, rocky areas. So I'm gonna go back to Skype here, Roman.
Okay, give me a second. Go for it. Like you're gonna show your face?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So hold on a second, guys.
Okay, I switched over to me so they can't see your screen.
Okay.
Cool.
Yep, switch back to me.
Okay, here we go. Oops. There we go. We're split, and I'll go full screen. Go for it.
Okay, so now that I've showed you guys that rocky bank, you kind of know what it is. It's a riprap bank. It comes down into the water and just stops, and usually it turns into sand or eelgrass at the toe of it. So, you know me, I
visual aids.
brought out my whiteboard, visual aid.
By the way, I love riprap. It sounds like riffraff.
I love riprap. Fish the riprap. Okay, so imagine this. This right here is land. This is our riprap bank. All this out here is water, right?
Yep.
Let's just say it's, low tide. The water's kind of down. Here's the toe of that riprap. Now, what I see a lot of people doing is they'll set their kayak up out here. Can you guys see that? Okay,
that's perfect. Yep. Actually, maybe
so
shift a little bit to your right. Yeah, that's it. Right there.
Okay, so you're setting your kayak out here across from the shore, and you're casting, and you're hitting spots all along the bottom of the slope, and you're retrieving in, right? That's good. You're casting into the shallow and going to the deep. I like that fishing pattern, but you're only hitting the rocks at these certain points. So what I usually do, and this is like if your favorite spots are taken or you're getting a skunk and you need a Hail Mary, this to me usually always will produce fish. They always are hanging out on these riprap rocks. Even during slack tide, I think the fish like to hide in these rocks or go into shade, or this may be their home. They may have a little hole they go into, so they like to stay in there. And what I like to do, and which I would like to see you guys do, is park your kayak actually as close to the rocks as you can get it. I'm talking 5 feet, 3 feet, as close as you can, and take your cast it parallel with the rocks, hold your rod tip over, and when you reel that in, it's going right along the toe of this slope. So now instead of hitting these pinpoint marks, you're actually covering the entire bank. And this is something that a lot of the freshwater guys will do. And I've kind of started doing this more and more in spotty fishing, and it's producing a lot of fish. So you're going to first cast here. And trust me, guys, when you pull up to this, your first cast is super important, because that's normally when you're going to get that fish in that first cast. So first cast, second cast, third cast, and every time hold your pole towards the riprap so that you're towing that lure in as close as you can get it. And maybe cast that like 5 times. Don't spend a long time in one spot. So once you've casted there 5 times, if you haven't got a fish, then move that kayak down along the shore. Same way, just go down the shore and keep that pattern going.
Yeah.
Keep casting and retrieving at the toe of that slope. Instead of out here casting towards it, go along with it. I mean, literally get right on those rocks and hug that toe of that slope. And you'll be able to see the bottom of the rocks.
Yeah.
When you're out there and you're looking at that, if you have your polarized glasses on and the water's pretty clear, you can actually see where that rock stops, and that's right where you want that lure to land. Don't land it in the rocks, because you're probably going to get snagged. You want it right on the toe of that slope, and then just drag it right along with that slope. And 5 casts, maybe 4, no bite, move on. And keep doing that. Follow that whole riprap wall, and I guarantee there'll be fish there at some point. It's a good thing to do in slack tide, or when your favorite spot is taken up by a tourist or a jet skier.
That's awesome.
So I'm going to pull up one more thing here, Roman.
Okay, let me switch over real quick. Go for it. So while Brian's getting that set up, yeah, I think that's. Oh, he's in the background here. Let me minimize you. Boom. There he goes. Oh. There it goes. So I'm seeing it delayed over here. Look real life. There it goes. Okay, cool. I was gonna say that was an excellent point. When you described the initial setup, what we usually do is we do stage up kind of far away from the shore, so we can kind of, and we're picking at the prime spots, and only the beginning of your cast is what's landing in the good zone, I guess you could say. And then, but if you get right parallel to it, then your lure is swimming through like the prime zone the whole time. And then if you also hold your rod over that, I guess what you call the toe of the drop, what's it called?
Toe of the slope is what I call it.
Toe of the slope. That's a perfect description for it. So basically, where the riprap meets the sand, right? Super cool.
Right, and there's a ton. I'm telling you, there's a ton of fish hanging out there.
Let's see. Okay, cool. So you're on full screen.
Okay, cool. So this is like that area I just showed you on Google Maps. This is actually that area, and you can see this rock coming down. And if you look closely, right down here, you can see that whole line of that toe of the slope. And like I said, if it's slack tide or your favorite position, your favorite spots are taken, if you go and do that fishing technique I just taught you on that, I guarantee there'll be spotties there. You might have to cover 100 feet of that slope, or maybe even further. But hold on, let me get this going so you guys can see. This, I think, is. Oh, do you hear that, Roman? The audio to it?
I can't hear the audio, but we can watch the video. It's coming in fine.
Okay.
It's probably better
to
voice.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So I think this is last weekend, and right now I'm trying to position my boat to where I'm as close to this rock as I can. And if you look, you can actually see that riprap going down into the water where it's dark and then turns light, and that's right where the sand meets the rock.
Yep.
And right here I'm fishing. It looks like an A-rig. And like I said, guys, your very first cast is probably the most important cast. So try to make it a good one. Try to land it close to those rocks, but not in the rocks. Make sure you're on the bottom and drag right in front of those rocks. This is what it's like. I'm operating my boat with the remote. Oh, there it is.
That's awesome.
That's spot lock right there. So you and I'm going to want to toss this thing as close as I can. That's the A-rig, so I try not to cast it too close, so I don't want to lose that thing.
Yeah. But then you work it back in.
Okay, so right there, just because it's right at the toe of the slope, and if I didn't catch a fish on that, I would continue down that bank all the way down that slope.
Nice. There's a fish. Woo-hoo.
Yep, and there's the fish, and that's the technique I wanted to share with you guys. I don't call it the Hail Mary technique, but it's kind of like a Hail Mary technique.
Last resort,
so
yeah. Beat the
if
skunk.
everything's going bad, you've got the skunk, and you're trying to get rid of the skunk. That's a good technique that I've found. That's pretty much a guaranteed fish if you stick to your pattern.
Super cool. Okay, so guys, I know you guys have questions about this. Let me start going through the questions. If you have any more questions about this technique or any other things, put it in the chat. I have a quick question for you, Brian.
Yeah.
You can use this technique. Let me get you back on the screen. There we go. Now we're both up. You can use this technique with pretty much any bait, right?
Yes, you can. Now remember, you're casting towards rocks.
Yeah.
So if you're casting that A-rig out, you're casting a $50 lure. So
yeah.
Be careful around rocks with that. I would say hit it a little bit further away from the rocks. And if you're casting like the underspin or something that's going to glide through those rocks a little nicer. But sometimes I'll cast it right on top of those rocks, a few quick cranks right when it hits the water, just so it doesn't fall into a hole, and then drag it right down those rocks. But if you can get that technique of right in front of those rocks or right in those rocks, to get your speed down right, there's always going to be fish there. And yes, you can use the crankbait, but it's got treble hooks on it and it's rocks. So you got to be careful with anything that has hooks that are hanging. You got to be careful in those rocks.
Yeah, I might switch to a single hook or something. That's true. Okay, let's see. Good stuff. All right, guys. Keep it going here. Let's see, John. Oh, John says that is my start for picking up calicos off the Mission Bay jetty. Oh, you can probably do that at the jetty as well, right?
It works anywhere with rocks. Yeah. I found that especially if it's full sun, right? If it's full sun, I think they like to go in there and get out of the sun. If it's slack tide, they're going to go in there and relax in a hole or sit next to rocks because it's like a safety zone.
Yeah.
Also, if you can find this, it's the unicorn. But if you can find a riprap bank covered by a big amount of shade, like a shade tree coming over it, or a building casting a big shadow.
Yeah.
If you can find riprap and shade, I can almost guarantee there's going to be a fish there. So if you find that, you pull up at that pattern, get yourself your perfect cast.
Gotta do
Because I
the
almost
underhand
guarantee
or
yeah,
straight.
the softball pitch.
Yeah. So it goes under the branches.
You get that thing in there, and if they're going to be hiding in that shade because they're like us. If we're out, it's full sun, it's noon. They don't want to be sitting out there in the full sun. They're going to find a spot in the grass. They're going to find a spot in the rock or in the shade somewhere to go and hide. So think of them just like us. We don't like to just stand there in the wide open shade. You want to be next to a structure. You want to be next to the shade. You want to be where you feel comfortable.
That makes sense. Awesome.
And also that works really well with halibut fishing too. I've caught many halibut doing that technique of just following the banks. So, and you know what? I like the rental boats, the skiffs. None of them have the confidence to get close to that bank. Most of it, because on a kayak you can make quick adjustments and get away from the riprap pretty easy. And if you don't have spot lock on your boat, you're going to drift into it, so it's going to be annoying. So as a kayak fisherman, that's a great way because you guys can get in really tight areas where boats can't and hit that riprap and follow that bank.
Awesome.
So it's normally most people aren't in those areas.
No, that makes sense. I think that's like the one of the few advantages of, I mean, not few, but one of the advantages of being on a kayak is that you can get super shallow and behind.
That's a huge advantage.
So I know like on lakes, when the water comes up sometimes, the boats can't go behind the tules, and usually there's like maybe like 5 feet between the shore and the tules when the water rises. And if you get back there, sometimes you get some good fish.
Well, that's why that you see those bass tournament boats are only like a foot high because they can get in those little shallow areas with their trolling motors. Those guys will get in there with those boats. But boats like mine or pleasure boats, the only reason I can get in there because I got this trolling motor. If I didn't have that, there's no way I would get in there. So, and most people I've noticed don't have that luxury of having that. So those boats aren't getting in those areas. So I don't think those areas are heavily fished like the bridges or the rock piles, you know, in the middle of the bay or the grass area. Yeah. And this really, like I said, is summer fishing spots because we got to find a place to fish, and you got to find a safe place to fish too. And nobody's covering those rocks.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I feel like on the, do you think that technique would work well? Like, for example, I'm gonna try not to give away spots, but like, there's sections of docks where it's pretty shallow. Some of these sections are pretty shallow, but it's basically like between the docks and the rocks, and people usually don't cast parallel like that to shore. If people fish it, they'll cast towards the boats. People like on kayaks will cast towards again to the point, right?
To the point, yeah. The only problem with some of the docks is they're only like 50 feet apart.
Yeah.
So when I'm casting along with those rocks, I'm chucking it. I'm throwing it, you know, as far as I can get it down those rocks, as close as I can get it, so I can get the longest retrieve. The further you can get it in front of those rocks and retrieve, the better. It gets down to the bottom better, and it stays on the bottom longer than if you're just trying to pitch it 50 feet or 20 feet. It doesn't stick to the bottom as long. So I like the long cast, the long cast.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I have some questions here coming up. Let's see. I'll read them to you, and you can just kind of field them that way. Does that work? Okay, so let's see. And if I missed your question, sorry guys, I'll look back up in a second. So I have Salty. Salty has a question. He says, "How do you target bigger fish? Any things you look for?"
Salty, you got to go through the small ones to get to the big ones.
Just
There's a ratio. Yeah, I mean, with spotties, they're everywhere, and their reaction bite. I would like to say I have the answer of, hey, this is going to catch you a big fish, but to be honest, it's about an 8-to-1, 10-to-1 ratio. You go through about 10 dinks before you get one legal. The big fish, you got to find them. And I think the primary favorite spots, let's say bridges, those type of areas, they're getting hammered hard. Mm-hmm. So my advice would be to go search for the big fish. This weekend, I don't know if you guys saw the picture I posted, but I found a 2.7 pound fish, which in the spotty world, that's a big fish.
Yeah.
And it was in a spot that Jet saw me fishing. That there's another story to this. I had to tow a jet ski over the weekend, but as I was towing this jet ski, I saw a spot and I'm like, oh dang, this looks fishy. I've never even been over here. I was towing his truck, and it's a spot nobody fished, and I hey, while I'm here, I might as well try it. And guess what? Lunker, dude, a giant beach ball fish. So
That's
it's
cool.
a spot. So I think you have to look outside of your normal fishing areas and the favorite spots that all of us fish nonstop every day, all the rental skiffs, everything, and go look for those big guys.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point actually. There's a comfort level, right? And then when you feel like, oh, if you're too worried about skunking, then you're not going to try new areas, and you might not find a new cool fishing spot. So sometimes it's worth taking the goose egg or taking the skunk for the sake of possibly finding a spot that you would have never found if you just stick to the places where you know you're going to get bit.
Yeah, I know on a kayak it's kind of hard to travel the bay and get as much as we can do on a boat. But yeah, guys, get out there, try to find new spots, especially summertime when you can't go in your favorite spot. And you might be surprised. You might find a honey hole of a spot that you never have been to. And hey, guess what? That's a new favorite spot, and nobody knows about it yet. So it's your honey hole.
Yeah, exactly. That's so good.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see. I have a couple more questions here. Let's see. Aiden is asking, how do you not snag your Alabama rig? Or how to not snag Alabama rigs as easy or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so the A rig is a tricky creature, man. It's got
many
5 hooks on it. Yeah, it's got 5 hooks on this guy. Aiden, my advice is to throw it in areas that I don't throw this in the very rocky areas. You notice when I threw this by the riprap, I was probably 10 feet from the shore. If I was throwing my underspin, I would have been right on top of those rocks. So select where you throw this. If you do get it snagged, which we all have, you can circle around and try to jerk it off from all different angles, try to get it off the bottom. So if you do get it snagged, you can possibly get it off, but select where you throw this thing. Don't throw it in areas where you know there's rocks or some type of structure it can get wrapped up on.
That's awesome.
Oh, and I use 65-pound braid on it too. So if I do get it snagged, I have a good chance of ripping that thing off the bottom.
Straight to the A rig, right? Yeah, me
too. Straight braid.
Cool.
I mean, it's a big ball of wire. I don't think you have to worry about visibility.
They're like, oh, the A rig looks good, but wait, there's 65-pound braid on it. I don't think so. Nah, that's funny because Kevin's in here. Sees Amaray in the house. What up, Kevin? He's like, he said, if only it was that easy for pelagics, where you can set up on the shore. That's why.
Kevin, I need some advice. I've gone to La Jolla for yellowtail 3 weekends, and I've got the skunk. What am I doing wrong? So I need a guide.
Oh, there you go. I think are you back guiding, Kevin? Do you do boats? That'd be cool.
Yeah, he does boats.
Boat. That'd be cool if you did like a guide on your boat though. Like bring your own boat, and awesome. he just shows up as a guide. That'd be kind of cool too. All right.
Yep.
Okay, so Salty's got another question. Let's see. Oh wait. Oh, there's another conversation happening about boats, I think. But okay, so you guys keep going. We'll keep answering questions. Salty asks, how do you pick what size line to use? Is it based on lure weight, rod power, or something else? That's a great question, Salty.
Awesome question. Okay, so yes, it does. Okay, so when I'm throwing a ½ ounce, let's just say a ½ ounce weight or bait, I generally go with about a 10 to 14 pound leader and 20-pound braid on that, because that's a heavier bait. When you're whipping that thing out there, you don't want a 6-pound line. You don't want that thing breaking off mid-cast. If you get snagged up or something and it has some kind of jerk, you want a little bit heavier line for those heavier lures. If I'm casting like a 1/8 to 3/8, I know other guests try to get away with the biggest they can get away with and still catch spotties. I'm weird. I go with the lightest. I'm usually at like an 8 to 10 pound fluorocarbon leader. I just like the way that feels. It sinks good. I use these little bass rods. I'm not using, I'm using the same rod that they fish largemouth bass, just these little sensitive tip rods. And I like the sensitivity of the lighter line. So yes, lighter line with a lighter, but I mean, sometimes you're just tying on a lure. You have your favorite pole. It's got 10 pound or 14 pound on there. You can still fish those lighter ones. My personal preference though, because I bring 9 fishing poles when I go, the lighter the lure, the lighter the line. Probably the most common size I use is 10 to 14 pounds. That's if I was going to recommend one leader size to go, 10 to 14 pound leader with a 20-pound braid.
Okay, so I'm gonna say the lure size, the lure weight, and you tell me the liter you would use. So quarter ounce.
Okay. Probably 8 to 10.
Cool.
So, we're talking liter, right?
Liter, yeah.
So 8 to 10, 15-pound braid.
Okay, perfect. And then so what's the next step after that? 1/4, so 3/8.
Same.
Okay, cool. And then half.
Once I get to half,
Yeah.
half, 10 to 14, 20-pound braid.
Perfect. And do you fish heavier than half?
Not for spotties, nope.
Cool.
So if I'm going for sand bass or things that are a little deeper, calico bass,
Yeah.
I'll go to the 3/4, 1 ounce.
Okay.
I've got a 2 ounce in my arsenal, but I don't break it out very often.
I need the 12 ounce. Or was it when we saw earlier on the Discord? Or was that the 1 pound?
Cool Baits makes Cool Baits makes a 16-ounce 1-pounder.
Oh, nice.
It's for the guys in Alaska use it for lean cod and for big monster halibut.
I need one for self defense. I need one for everyday carry.
It looks everyday awesome. Carry? It's about that long. I don't know if you saw. I have a picture of it on my Instagram, but it's huge. Fun. People hang them from their rear view mirrors as a decoration.
Nice. All right, cool. Let's get some. Oh, what's up, Joaquin? I'm glad you made it. Joaquin was lost. He messaged me on Discord, but we got him in here. So cool. Glad that link worked for you. Andrew, what up? Welcome. I see Roy. What's up, MFC? Captain Dan in here. It's a cool boat. Cool. Okay, that's talking about boats. Carlos has a question. Let's see. Any tips for the shore pounders that really can't cast and reel along the bank?
Well, I mean, you can cast it sideways, right?
Yep.
So I would try to cover. I'm not a very good shore pounder. My shore pounding days, I was like a squid Carolina rig guy. So I would literally cast it out there instead of a pole holder. That's how I shore pounded. So I know Salty. He's a great shore pounder. He would probably be a good person to answer that question.
Yeah. We should get you on here, Salty.
I would say probably the best thing to do would be to try to cover as much water as you can. If you haven't caught a fish in 5-10 minutes, move down the bank. Just keep on the move. It's usually not going to happen. If you're casting, you're there for an hour and you're still casting the same spot, the fish is not going to be there. You've already tried every inch of that spot. So me personally on my boat, if I haven't caught a fish in 10 minutes or 5 to 10 minutes, I move and I move. Not big moves, but moves.
Yeah.
So try to cover more area.
That makes sense. No, that's cool. And from my opinion, from again, I'm not a excellent shore pounder either, but you can make modifications. Now, instead of casting, I'll use this as a visual aid. I don't have a whiteboard, but instead of casting, like this is the shore and that's the water, and you're casting that way usually, well, cast that way and then kind of work your bait coming towards the riprap. At least it's kind of in the zone longer. Exactly. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to stream it the whole way across this way, but at least start to work that diagonal a little bit closer to the rocks. But it is like a game of chicken, though.
I'm a big fan of. I know Roman's done a video of the fan cast where you cast up across and just keep casting a fan cast at every angle. Maybe do that fan cast 2 series, and then if you don't catch a fish, move on to down the bank and do it again.
Awesome. Also, another tip for shore pounding, I guess it would be like. That's where really your cast range comes into play. Because on a kayak, it doesn't matter how far you can cast, because you can just kind of kayak over there and you're going to cover that range no matter what. But from shore, there is, I believe, an advantage over the guy that can't cast as far for you to cast that extra 5 feet, extra 10 feet. It gets you a little bit out there where it's maybe not as explored by shore fishermen.
Yeah, and maybe if you're a shore fisherman, like I said, I'm not a big shore pounder, but maybe a longer rod and some heavier lines so you can really get those things out there.
Awesome. Kevin said he's down for that on the boat guide.
All right.
There you
go. It's a date.
Nice. Jet has a question. He says, Brian, do you think you've caught the same spotty multiple times?
Oh man, I always.
It's a good question.
So
it's a good question.
I wish like back in the day I would have bought some kind of tag. I could have tagged some fish just to see, because I'm wondering if the same fish gets caught by multiple people throughout the day. Because you think about it, everybody's fishing that bridge pillar, and I'm always seeing people catch fish there. Is there literally that many fish down there, or is there just one stupid fish that keeps getting caught all day long. I don't know.
When I catch a fish, I check it to see if it's beat up somewhere else, like where it's obviously been hooked the same day. But you know what would be interesting to figure out a way to mark them without injuring them. Maybe like a UV marker or something. I don't know if that's I don't even know if I should be saying that. But
I know they have for yellowtail, they'll mark them with a little tag, like the Scripps Institute will. And if you catch it, it has a phone number or some kind of email address on there, and you report that, hey, I caught this fish, and they know what it did. So I don't know. Maybe we should get something like that for spotties, just for our personal interest, and put our number on there.
No, I wouldn't go with the number. I'd go with like a little dot of like UV ink or something, right? And then when you see it, when you catch it, you shine the flashlight on it, see if it's tagged. But I don't know if that's legal or if it's safe. I'll look into it, but that'd be kind of fun. Start our own
so I don't
spotty
know.
research
maybe
lab.
Maybe they're the dumbest fish in the world, and there's only like 10 of them down there, and we're all constantly reeling that fish
that
in.
Sucks.
I don't know.
That sucks. That's funny. Let's see. Bo's got a question. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me make sure I don't miss anybody here. Okay, yeah. So that was Jet. Good question, Jet.
Thanks, Jet.
Bo's got a question. And thanks for hanging out with me yesterday, Bo. That was cool. I'm glad I wasn't out there by myself. What's the first thing I need to know if I want to be a first-time boat owner? Oh, that's such a good question, man.
Okay.
So talk about
usually there's different levels, man. If you listen to my interview, I didn't start out with this boat. Trust me, guys. I've only had this boat for a year. So your first boat is probably not going to be your dream boat. It's going to be a boat that will get you out on the water, having fun, and is in your budget, or you're just trying it out. I would not suggest just like going out and buying the best fishing setup you can, a $1,000 rod and reel combo. Go out there and maybe get a starter boat, fish it for a year, figure out what you like about it, what you don't like about it, and then maybe after you've boated for a while, go out and shop maybe for a newer boat. But a first boat for me was a 16-foot skiff that they made at Sears, and I paid $800 for it. I fished it for like 4 years, learned a lot from it. I loved it, but I progressively got a little bit nicer boat. Now, if you're asking me what's the dream boat, I've already bought it. I'm sitting in it right now.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Brian sleeps in it. That's good. That's awesome.
But I would say, and also, Bo, if you have the opportunity to go out on friends' boats, to
check out their setups.
Get the feel of different setups. For my boat, it's used for fishing. I use it to go to the river. I use it to go to the lake. So it's a multi-purpose boat. It's got a lot of seating in it. It's not just a strict fishing boat. I can do a lot of stuff in this.
You can convert it to like a family thing too. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're, I like these little aluminum bass boats that you see. They hold up really good. They last forever. They get a little outboard on there, a little reliable outboard on there, and those things are bulletproof. So a good first boat too would be just a small aluminum boat. It's probably not going to get you out in the ocean, but it'll get you through the bays and having fun and starting out in it.
Awesome. Good info. Good question, Bo. Thanks for handling that, Brian.
Thanks,
that was
Bo.
a good question. Okay, so let's see. No, Aiden, Brian doesn't shark fish. He focuses on spotties, right, Brian?
Well, okay. So the only sharks that I fish are the ones in the bay, which are leopard sharks, smoothhound gray sharks. And the only time I target those is when I'm fishing with squid or live bait or chunks. You'll get them occasionally on lures. I think Leonard? We went out once and Leonard nailed one, and that's rare. It happens, but yes, I love catching a big leopard shark. I haven't done it for a while. You go out to if you're going to do that, you go past the Coronado Bridge out in South Bay, and they're all over out there during certain seasons. And
that's
you
fun.
Just drop a live bait, a chunk of mackerel or a squid on a Carolina rig, and they put up an awesome fight.
There you go.
And those things are awesome to get a picture with because they're usually huge. I know you don't handle sharks, Roman, but leopard sharks are totally harmless. Yeah. They have no teeth. They're not like that angel shark you caught.
I know, that thing was so creepy. I was like, oh, I see. My eyes were like, oh, I see his teeth.
You know what's creepier? The creepiest shark I've caught is the horn shark. Have you caught the horn shark yet?
No, but I've been in the water with one. And see, I've been in the water with a mako, and that's like, it wasn't as freaky as like thinking about having that angel shark like on the kayak going nuts. So yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
weird,
talking
right?
about sharks in the bay. That horn shark. If you ever catch one of those, it's got like a big spike out of its pectoral fin up in the back,
Yep.
and you look in its mouth, and it's just rows and rows and rows of like a weird mouth full of teeth, and it's a nasty looking critter, man. So I haven't caught a horn shark for a while because I haven't been fishing squid or live bait, but those things are awesome. It's just that thing's in the bay.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. There's a lot
So
of
Aiden, we do have sharks. We do have sharks in that bay.
in the bay. Yeah,
Probably not the sharks that you were thinking of.
that's part of like that's part of the fun of fishing the bay, though, dude. It's like it's connected to the ocean. You know, like you really don't know what you're gonna get. Like it could be a giant halibut. It could be a shark, and that I like that little element of like surprise too, because like. What's the first thing you want to know? Like when you get bit, it's like, oh, what is this? What is this? Oh, you're trying to like, you're going through all the different fish you've caught before and trying to like associate the feel of how it's fighting with like, oh, this is a spotty. Oh, this is definitely a halibut. So that kind of stuff is really super cool.
Same, Roman. I love the bay. If I fish San Vicente Lake or one of our local lakes, I know I'm going to get probably largemouth or maybe a bluegill or a catfish. But when you go out to the bay, it's, who knows what you're gonna get? There's all kinds of weird stuff down there. I've caught a lobster on a Berkeley gulp once, so you can catch all kinds of weird stuff out there.
That's awesome. All right, I'm gonna queue up this. I'm slacking on the questions that I got inspired there. I love fishing the bay. Let's see. Cool. Some more advice for Carlos about casting. Oh, Salty's got some good advice for shore fishing. Cast 60 degrees from shore. From one side and down the other around 3 to 5 casts, about 5 feet. Repeat. There you go. That's a good formula right there, Salty Dan. There you go. Cool. Thanks for helping with that question, Salty. Okay, let's keep it going. It says, cool. Kevin, I tagged. Cool. Perfect. Okay, good. All right. Going through, looking for questions. We were talking about this too before the show, like dead air. No. Okay, cool. So I think they're just kind of going back and forth on the
boat.
The boats, yeah. Now that's a super dense topic though, the boats.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, you usually don't start out with your dream boat. So go find a nice used boat, offer up Craigslist, whatever you like, let it go.
I have a question. I have a follow-up question on the boat question, I guess you could say. It's like, well, have you ever had a boat partner? Like, how do you feel about boat partnerships?
Great. I think it's maybe it's one of our people named MFC. It's not John. Somebody has a Ranger. I think it might be Garrett. Mm-hmm. Has a Ranger, and him and his brother, and maybe even a third person are buddies on it. And hey, that's awesome. As long as you guys all get along and you all share or go out at the same time, sure, why not? Wrong type.
No, you're good. You're on full screen, so I can cough it out over here.
No, on my old boats, nobody would have been my boat buddy. It was a boat adventure every time. They would have had to been a boat mechanic to be a boat buddy on those boats.
on the Frankenstein, on the super boat.
I think Sea Samurai needs to find a boat buddy that's a mechanic. It sounds like he's got a project on his hands.
That was fun. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So yeah, I see. No, but that's good. That's a boat. I've considered it. I've also considered what is a Freedom Boat Club. Do you have any experience with that?
So I have two friends that are members of that, and so you'd have to talk to them about the monthly rates, and I know there's money coming into it. But that's, if you have, like me, I'm lucky. I have a huge garage. I have a place to store my boat. But if you live in an apartment or you live in a neighborhood where they don't allow you to park boats, I think that's an awesome way to do it, because literally you reserve your boat, you head down there, you get on the boat, and when you're done, you park the boat and you go home. When I'm done for the day, guess what? I've got to wash the boat, flush the motor, clean the boat out. I'm fine because I'm used to doing that. I've got a quick routine where I can do it in about a half hour. And you also have to have a pretty decent truck if you got a big boat.
That's another thing too. That's true.
If you're driving around like Paige in a Honda Civic, you're probably not going to be going out. You're going to have to buy two things. You're going to buy a truck, and you're going to have to buy your boat also.
Yeah, you have to buy your boat.
Once you consider all the variables of storage, Maintaining it, truck maintenance.
Transport.
That
Yep.
club is a pretty good deal. Yep.
You have to like do
Oh,
you have to buy your boat like me in parts. First, I bought the truck, I bought the sounder. Now I just need the boat.
right.
That's hilarious.
Yep.
No, but that's
Well, you got the truck. That's a big step.
yeah. The truck's almost done. Almost done painting the truck, so might be able
Yeah.
to swing that boat eventually. I'm excited. Yeah, but the I think your setup is good. It's I think it'll also do well for diving as well. Like for have you ever gone patty hopping with that thing?
I never get out of my boat. I jumped out of my boat once while I was out in the ocean. I jumped in head first just to cool off. I came up out of the water. I turned around and my boat was 50 feet away. The current was taking it. It scared me because you don't know.
Yeah.
You think you're in a lake and you just dive in to cool off. But if you dive out of your boat, you don't know about those currents. I dove in, swam under, and that boat was drifting away. So I was in full speed mode to swim back and get back on that thing. So no, never dove. I'd snorkel.
Cool.
I'd like to go snorkeling.
Cool. Well, I guess what I meant to say was have you ever taken your boat offshore, like for patty hopping or searching for like maybe even to like Catalina or the Coronados?
Okay, so yeah, I'm planning a boat buddy trip with a couple other boaters, maybe John and another MMFC guy. And
Cool.
We're planning on going sometime in August out to the Coronado Islands. So it'll be, I guess, our first MMFC outing out there.
That's cool.
I have not gone out there yet. I've only had this boat for a year. And now that I feel comfortable in it, I got my passport. I'm ready to adventure into Mexico. So yes, there's a trip in planning.
Oh,
and
perfect.
I usually don't take my boat further than I can see shore at this point right here. Most of the type of fish, I'm a bass fisherman, so I like to fish the kelp. I like to fish for bass. I don't usually go for tuna. I don't even have tuna set up, so I'm an inshore fisherman.
That's cool.
Bass
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so Aiden's got another question for Brian. What color for Ned rigs other than green pumpkin? I mostly use PBJ.
Ned rig, huh? Well, that to me is a Roman question.
Yeah.
He's the Ned rig guy. I'll show you
all the natural colors, and I use some bright ones on murky days.
So here's my. Can you guys see
let
my
me go full screen
here?
for you. Give me a second. There you go.
Okay.
You got it now. We can see.
So I very rarely ever fish the Ned rig, but I've got the standard. I know everybody fishes craw. Of course, everybody goes with the chartreuse. Green pumpkin, yep, all the standard colors. And twilight, this is a good freshwater color, so that's a freshwater color for me. So that's my whole Ned rig arsenal. I don't fish that much. I need to try that some more.
Cool. I like a California craw, green pumpkin. What's it called? Red bone is a good one. As far as like Z-Man colors that I remember. There's one that's like bright pink. It's like bubblegum. I don't think it's called bubblegum though. There's one that's like a black top with chartreuse bottom. That's really good. And then they also have one that it looks like a shrimp, but it's I guess it's about 3 inches, and it's got they call it fried chicken, and it's like basically chartreuse with the white base. But that's not like the bottom is white, but like everything is chartreuse. And the part that goes on next to the actual jig head, that's white. It's got like about a 1/4 inch of white. The rest is like bright chartreuse. That does pretty well for me. Cool.
Yep.
All right, moving on to more questions. Andrew's got a question. He says, question, what's a good size underspin for halibut in the bay? I fish Newport Harbor all the time. Haven't caught one on an underspin. I caught that on a drop. He's caught one on a drop shot.
Okay, so it depends on how deep you're fishing. If you're fishing close to shore, like 5 feet, 10 feet, 12 feet, I like to go with a 3/8. Anything deeper than that, I'll go with a 1/2 ounce. And halibuts are pretty hard to target. Let's be honest. You know, they're sometimes you just come across those just luck. We know the areas they hang out. Rodney mentioned it last week. They like to hang out in the sand right next to the eelgrass. I usually find those guys in a little bit shallower water. So I would recommend a 3/8 in shallow water, and just make sure that you have that thing all the way down on the bottom, dragging it slowly, just fast enough to keep it off the bottom. And don't forget the pause. I talk about the pause all the time. So if you're targeting a halibut, 3/8, pull on the bottom, pause very slowly. I mean, if somebody saw you reeling, it looks ridiculous. It's literally like this speed right here. You're just barely moving it. You're barely moving it. And you might change your speed a little, pause it, and just barely move it.
When you say you cast, your lure sinks, you're making ground contact, you can feel the bottom. You're really getting in slowly. How long before that first pause? How many times do you pause it on a retrieve?
I'm totally random on it. So don't do the exact same cast every time you go. Change it up. So I know we all get into a rhythm and we're casting and we've got that standard reel and we're casting and reeling. Change it up. So maybe sometimes what I'll do is I'll hit the bottom and I'll give it 3 fast cranks to jerk it up off the bottom. Maybe something's there, I'll grab it, let it sink again, and then just go for a slow grind. But pause it and change your speeds. Sometimes changing your speed can make the difference. You think you've got it on the bottom, but maybe you're going too slow. You're dragging it through the mud. Speed it up. So if you're not getting fish, you may need to change up.
That makes sense. And if you're not first, you're last. I'm just kidding.
So my answer would be 15 feet of water and less, 3/8, 15 feet to, let's say, 25 feet, half ounce.
Ooh, that's
Stay
good.
On the bottom.
That's a good rule of thumb. I like that. Cool. All right. So Captain Dan says boat partners are good for sharing expenses and best if your partner has the same interests and goals as you do. That's a great point, Captain Dan. Let's see. Garrett says, been a good experience as long as they are not on the boat. I'm not sure. Having a boat partner is a good experience as long as they're not on the boat. That's hilarious. Kevin says, don't buy a boat unless you have a lot of time on your hands. Oh, brutal. Also, Captain Dan's gonna makes a great point. Freedom Boat Club has to have you have to have the boat back in by dark. So that's a good point.
And I don't know what time they open. I know we go out there at like 5 or 6 in the morning, so you might check on their hours.
Okay, so Dario's got a question. He says, on crankbaits, what situation would you use it over something else? Oh, that's a good question.
So Dario, I get bored fishing. I could fish. I don't like to fish the same thing all day long. Honestly, I get bored. I'm not the guy that, I love cool baits. I fish them all the time. It's my favorite bait. But I'm not fishing that exclusively. It would be horrible to be fishing the same thing over again all day. So I work with a crankbait in. It depends on the situation. I like the crankbait in a little shallower water. I'll do like a 12-foot deep runner, 12 foot to maybe 10 foot of deep water. But the only reason I use a crankbait is because I like to have a wide variety of stuff. I'm trying new stuff at all times. Like you guys know, I've been trying the jerkbait a lot lately. I've been getting into stick baits. I like to have a whole arsenal just to keep myself entertained, have fun, and you might catch a different fish on a different type of lure that you haven't caught before.
That makes sense. Oh yeah, like your first this fish on that type of lure. That makes sense. It's like
could you rephrase? Did I answer his question correctly? Could you rephrase it? I don't see the question.
On crankbaits, what situation would you use it over something else? Like, is there a situation where you would say, you know what, this is crankbait hour right here?
Okay, so crankbaits, you can control the depth pretty good with those things because if you stop reeling, they float right up. So those are awesome because you know what they're going to dive. So when you look on a package of a crankbait, it'll tell you. Oh, let me grab one.
There we go. Yeah, going into the
goodie
bag.
So right here, this is a Strike King. What is this guy? I think this is a 9-foot diver. So okay, I look on my fish finder. I'm in 12 feet of water.
It's deadly.
This is pretty automatic that I'm gonna be. If you know the speed and you know what it feels, you're gonna be at about 9 feet deep. So if you're trying to specifically target a 9-foot water column, the crankbaits are awesome that way. You're not on the bottom. You're right above the bottom, and they float. So if you want to come up to, let's say, 5 feet above it, you crank a little slower, you can fish that 5-foot water column. So you can fish different areas, different heights of the water with them.
That's cool. Hey, Coach, thanks for putting that up in all caps. I think I saw it earlier and I forgot about it, and I just didn't mention it. I think they mentioned that the guys up north, or who's it? Oh, the Bay Bass tournament guys will punch a hole in the fin of the fish. I'm not down with that. It's a way to market, but I think anything that damages the fish more than you need to, it's like go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you could, if you're really good with your camera, and you could take an exact picture of it, like a face recognition where it recognizes its spots. Take it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know when they like do shows on killer whales, they take a picture of them and they know who they are by their markings.
Or like the shark fins, like the idea by the shark fin. That's really true.
Have a photographic memory. I don't know if anybody can do that. Hey, one thing I wanted to talk about too is I want you guys to go out.
We go full screen on you. Go for it. Go for it. You're good.
Okay. So a lot of you guys are measuring your fish to see if they're legal, and you're saying, "Hey, what size was it? What size is it?" I get asked that all the time, and I like to measure to hey, I got a 16, hey, I got a 14, but I love to weigh fish. So when you get to the point to where you've caught a ton of 14s, you caught a ton of 16s, and you're stuck in that kind of area where you're not beating your personal best in length, go to trying to beat your personal best on weight. So
that's cool.
So let's just say, my personal best right now is a 1.7. It gives you a goal, a 1.7 ounce fish, or 1 pound, 7 ounce fish. It gives you a goal to get out there and try to enter the 2 pound club and really get to the big leagues and enter the 3 pound club. If you catch that huge fish, it's a beach ball. It's a big guy. Yeah, it's 16 inches, but everybody catches a 16 incher, right? But hey, guess what? I caught a 2.4 pound 16 incher, which is like a unicorn fish, anytime you get into those high weights. So I'd like to see you guys start keeping track of weights, just so you could try to continue to beat your personal best. It's just one more thing to do in spotty fishing world.
It's beautiful. It opens up a whole category for you as far as goals go. That's really good.
Yeah. Also with halibut, I know when Salty caught his halibut, I think when one of our first outings out there, he brought it in my boat and I weighed it for him, and I think it was like a 8 pound, 7 ounce, something like that.
Yeah.
But now he knows the length and he knows the weight. So if he catches another one of those and it's 27 incher, but it's 12 pounds. Hey, guess what? I beat my PB. So you've got 2 types of PBs.
Oh, that's cool.
So they make different types of scales. I know this is probably pretty big for a kayak. This is like the fish gripper one where you get its mouth in here and it holds it.
I like that. It's one less
pretty big for a kayak. Yeah. But Rapala makes a little one. It's a little easier to stow, and it just hooks onto the mouth or the gill. Does the exact same thing, just smaller. This one's just a little fancier. And if you want to really go cheap, I use this one for when I go backpacking to weigh my backpack.
Yeah.
And this is like $10 online, and it does the same thing. It's just it doesn't quite have as nice as a hook.
Yeah.
And I don't know how well it's going to hold up in the water, but you can get these for $10. I think this one's maybe less than $20. And I think this one's about $40.
Salty's like 8.79, 28.5 inches. He also asked if your scale was...
I was close.
He also asked if your scale was certified. It doesn't look like it, right?
Certified at the factory at Rapala. That's all I know. I guess I could probably... every time you turn it on, it tears itself back down to 0.
Cool. Certified to be
0.0, and then if it's at 0.0, I'm assuming it's certified. Yeah. If you have a world record, obviously you're gonna have to take it to the Marlins Club or Dana or somewhere where they have a certified scale. Yep. But this is more just for personal fun.
Yeah, this is just so that you know that you have a record and you can take it in.
Yeah, right. I mean, I dream of beating that 6 pound world record spotty.
Dude, that's incredible. That's incredible.
I don't know. I would love if you could track that guy down and please get him on as a guest so I can hear the story. I'm pretty sure I heard it was caught in Mission Bay on live bait, and I would love to know the story about that.
I think Coach might know him or might know of him. Maybe later on I can figure out who it is.
If somebody could track that guy down, I would absolutely love to see a picture of it, and I would love to hear the story about that.
That's so funny.
That would be my dream guest. I just want to hear. I want to hear about the 6 pound spotty it looks like and what it tugged like. Can't imagine.
Right? Yeah, that would be insane. Like I don't think I've caught a spotty that big before. So
Probably not even half that size.
yeah, you know, I do need to get a scale. Now I'm thinking about it because I couldn't tell you. I've caught a 17-inch spotty, but I can't tell you how much it weighed.
Well, I've caught a 17-inch spotty that probably weighed less than 2 pounds though. So it's those big tanks that really put on the fight, and to me are really the trophy fish, not the little skinny snake body ones. I like the big fat beach ball ones. Those guys have a lot of weight on them, and those are hard to find.
That's sweet. Yeah. So we're talking a little bit about where would it go? I had a great segue that just popped into my head, but then I lost it. So I'm just gonna go for it because we're already past the 8 o'clock hour. That was super fast, Brian. This is like,
wow.
This is a lot. This makes I can't thank you enough. First of all, for sharing your knowledge with us, and it actually makes this show flow a little bit better when I can kind of fill the questions, or like it gives me a little bit of like just a break to be able to cue things up. I mean, it flows better. I'm enjoying it, and we're gonna do Carlos's question last, and then I'm gonna tell you guys who our guest is gonna be tomorrow. He's gonna be calling in from Tokyo. So so it's gonna be a fun interview. We'll see how we'll get the technology going for that too. But for now, Carlos's question is, knowing you target spotties, what is your ultimate bucket list fish to catch?
World record.
Ooh.
I want to hold that world record. So, and I want to do it on an artificial lure.
Oh, nice. Wow. That's awesome.
Hey, that's just, if you're talking about my ultimate spotty bucket list, of course that's it. I also would like to enter the 3.5 pound, 4 pound club, at least get to that. So I know the world record's probably is never going to happen, but I'd like to probably catch one over 4 pounds.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good, man. I'm not even, I can't certify that I'm in the 2 pound club, but I want to be in the 2 pound club. Shoot, that's some goals right there, guys. MMFC goals, right there. MMFC goals.
Go buy a scale, please, guys.
Yeah. So scale sales are about to go up.
It's worth the $20.
Yeah, totally. Right. Okay, guys. So, awesome. So, cool. So, Brian, I'm gonna let you go, and thanks for jumping on here and helping us with the show. I think you'll be back. You'll be back next Wednesday.
If you'll have me back, I'll come back. I'd love to talk. I love to talk fishing, especially
awesome.
spotty and calico fishing.
Perfect. No, that's great. Yeah, please come back next Wednesday. And guys, since you guys know Brian will be here, start saving up your questions for us. We're gonna try to tackle your questions a little bit faster than me just kind of trying to like fumble through. It's nice to have somebody that's like a little bit more experienced at these types of things than I am. So it makes the show flow better. I think it gets you guys better information quicker. Okay. So Brian, thanks again for jumping on. We'll hang up with you, and I'm gonna close out the show. Let us know who the next guest is gonna be, and I'll see you soon. Thanks again, Brian. What's your sign off?
Thanks, guys.
Oh, we gotta go to the sign off.
Thank you. Oh. Snagging grass and catching bass.
There you go. Nice. All right. Good night, Brian.
Good night.
Super cool. There we go. Awesome. So again, thanks, Brian. That was super awesome. That was fun. I really enjoyed the show. I feel like I felt like a little bit of the audience, and then I get to jump in and ask the questions. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Tomorrow's guest is going to be Ralph Nunez. He is from San Diego, but moved to Tokyo, and he makes all these crazy long-range trips here at San Diego and Baja. He's been fishing for a really long time, a lot of experience. He reached out to me after watching one of our Fishy hours, and we started talking on Facebook, and I got to hear part of his story, and I was like, oh my gosh, you got to come on the show. It's going to be, I want to go through your whole story, but let's do it on the show. And so it's pretty intriguing. He's living in Japan. He teaches there. He's an instructor at a university, and I just can't wait to tackle all these all of his experiences being a fisherman from San Diego and then going out to Japan or to Tokyo, and then like I think I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil any of the details, but just know that it's gonna be a fun interview. He's caught like a swordfish. He's caught like grouper. He's caught a lot of fish you can think a lot of the fish you can think of. He's caught a bunch of them, and I think it's gonna be a fun episode. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. We're gonna be on this channel, on the Fishy Hour channel. Again, fishyhour.com is always gonna work for you, except yesterday. Sorry. What I'm gonna do is no matter where I'm streaming, when 7 o'clock rolls around, you should be able to go to fishyhour.com, and that's gonna redirect you to wherever we're streaming. So Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're gonna be here on YouTube on the Fishy Hour channel. Tuesday, when I'm fishing live from the kayak, I might switch that over to Twitch. I'm not 100% sure, but if I do, I'll change the URL on Tuesday to point to the Twitch stream. That way, you don't have to remember anything but fishyhour.com. Okay. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe and give us a like. We're trying to get the target of 1,000 subscribers here on Fishy Hour, this new channel, so that we can live stream from the mobile phone. I didn't realize that was a special type of access that YouTube gave you once you got a certain level of subscribers. I just assumed everybody got it because I had that on my Roman Castro channel. So yeah, that didn't happen. So we had to improvise and make it work. I was gonna show you something. I have oh, here it is. My old sticky note from Roman Castro vlog, and this was a goal for me that I accomplished a while back. Here it is. It's checkboxed. 100 subscribers. Goal of 1,000 subscribers, and it took a while for me to get there, going from scratch. And I was super proud of this, that I kept the sticky note. I kept a goal for myself. But now we gotta get Fishy Hour to 1,000 subscribers, guys. So I'm gonna be pushing this kind of hard. So I apologize ahead of time for asking you so many times to subscribe to this channel, and to please share the show with your friends if you're enjoying it. We're down to like in the 20s now, and we were at a point where we're like at 40 and 50. I think a lot of it has to do with people just losing track of where the channel is being, where the show is being streamed. I thought that everybody would catch on, but unfortunately not. So do me a big favor. If you know anybody that's been watching the show for the past 80 episodes, please remind them that we're now on the Fishy Hour channel. And I know it's hard to find that on YouTube. If you search for Fishy Hour, other things come up. So the best way to find it is going to be to go to fishyhour.com. So no matter what, if your friends are checking it out, if they want to check out the show, send them to fishyhour.com, and that's going to take them to wherever they need to go. So if it's not a on the water live stream, it's going to take them to the next scheduled live stream, or it'll take them to the previous live stream that we just did. Okay. So again, fishyhour.com. Thanks again, guys. Let's close this show out. And big shout out, big thank you to Brian for helping me with the show today. And I think it's a good format. I think it's going to work out. And we'll see how it goes. If you're interested in being not necessarily an interviewee, but like a co-host, like you have something that you really feel passionate about, and you want to share that with the MMFC community, with the fishing community. If you say you're an expert at crankbait fishing and you want to tell us how to crankbait fish more effectively, then jump on. We'll set it up. Let me know. Reach out to me through the Facebook group. Reach out to me through Discord. Reach out to me through Instagram at Roman Castro, and we'll set it up. Even if you just feel like, hey man, I got like 5 minutes worth of material. Do you mind if I share that with the community? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And you don't have to feel the pressure of like entertaining us for the whole hour. Okay, so that's kind of why the way we want to do this. Okay, so yeah, that's the plan. There you go. Put a promo for it on your other channel. Yeah, it's true, Leonard. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna actually, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that, Leonard. That's a good idea. Yeah, so cool. That's what we got, guys. Let me close the show out. Put the music on. Hope you enjoyed Fish Hour tonight. I had a blast. It's 8:21. I'm probably not gonna go on Discord tonight, guys. I need to get to the family and do some rib eating. I smoked some ribs today, and they were off the grill at like 6:45, 6:40, and I got to have a couple bites before like brushing my teeth and jumping on the show. So I'm gonna go eat, and enjoy some ribs, some smoked ribs. Yeah. So again, this is some shout outs. So Aiden, thanks for jumping on here. Leonard, Coach Worth, Todd, Brian, Andrew, let's see, Dario, Jet, TV Metal Art in the house. See Samurai Kevin, thanks for jumping on, Kevin. I always appreciate you jumping on. Oscar, let's see, Carlos, Salty Dan. Let's see, who else? Garrett, Captain Dan. I think I saw Wayne in here earlier. What's up, Wayne? Bo, Joaquin, Tyler. Ooh, how fast can I scroll? I think I got everybody. I think I got most of you guys. Yeah, I think I got most of you guys. Cool. If I didn't shout you out, you didn't comment enough. So get on that. All right, guys. Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow I'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. fishyhour.com. We're gonna have our interview tomorrow. It's gonna be fun. Okay? So bring your drinks, come hang out, and let's have some fun. Okay? I'm gonna let the song play out. If you haven't seen my kayak fishing setup video yet, I'm putting it in the chat for you to go check out right now. Please do that. Kayak fishing setup for the bays of Mission Bay and San Diego. All right, guys. Good night.